Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of C.T.G podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Prince.
I'm Cannon.
And I'm B.
And we'd like to thank you for tuning in to another episode where you get all the information on video games, cars, and technology. How you guys been since the last time we recorded?
Man, I've been alright, man. Pretty sleepy, pretty tired. We recording early as hell in the morning after the night I had last night.
3 hours of sleep.
Sheesh. But we here for y'all, man. Like, comment, and subscribe for no sleep for the podcast.
And I wanted to say, I could tell we're not as young as we used to be. Because lack of sleep, our body started feeling that shit.
Bro, like, really, like, you know, when you stand up and then things start cracking, you don't even know where the cracks are coming from. You like, oh, shit. Like, what was that?
Get that ass.
They shooting.
Yeah.
When you sit down too long and then you gotta get up and you take that sigh.
No, yo. So when you stand up and you gotta get that stretch and then you just start.
Yeah, right.
That's when you get
when
old.
when you stand up. I mean, when you sit down and you let out that mean ass sigh after you sit down, that's how you know you reach a certain age, my boy. If you sit down like you did, ran a whole 400 meters.
The old West Indians be like, oh yes, Papa Jesus. Father.
Like, I almost ain't make it to the seat.
Yo,
man. My back almost broke on the way down.
Good ass.
But yeah, man, we here with another episode of CTG. I had to roll up my little joint. I see that we're not drinking. It's a little too early, but it is 5 o'clock somewhere. So if you listening and it's 5 o'clock, take a shot for us, man.
Hey, no judgments over there.
Or subscribe to our Patreon or send some Cash App money, so we can give you better content and upgrade our equipment to give you better quality.
And upgrade our bottles.
Facts. Alright, we were sipping Douce before, then we're gonna be drinking. What the hell is that bottle that everybody got? That white bottle that's like mad tall.
The thing.
I don't know what that shit is called, but
is it the tequila bottle?
Yeah, it's a tequila. It's a blue and white with the
Azul.
Yeah.
We're gonna be drinking that with y'all subscriptions. Nah, I'm just kidding. We're gonna be upgrading the episode. As you can see, we got a backdrop now. We got lights. Alright, we got a better stand for the camera.
We're getting there, piece by piece.
Piece by piece, we getting there. We trying to bring
took
out
us
the
2
best.
years, but I mean, piece by piece.
Hey, you feel me?
Yeah, especially with the bullshit that happens that we don't know until the end of the episode. See, y'all get the final product.
Yo.
We see all the bullshit that goes on throughout these episodes. That's why we need y'all support to keep on doing this.
The heartache and the cussing.
Bro. Bro, like, is this thing on? That could summarize like 1 year of the entire podcast. Like, is this thing on?
Yo, where's the visual? Oh, I can't even hear us. What's going on? Some bullshit.
Damn, there's like 70 cops in the background.
Yo, some bullshit, son.
Bro, this shit is not for the weak, alright? But we're gonna keep going and we're gonna make it look easy.
So I think I'll start things off today. I'll keep it short and sweet. Get you some horror games that you could play for October. Since October's usually Halloween, and that's when people want to do all the demonic or scary. Get scared a little.
I'm not a big horror guy. But I'm with all the dressing up and the functions, the Halloween functions is cool, but in terms of like movies or even games, pass.
Yeah, I'm not really a big horror guy. Well, I say I slowly became more of a horror guy for video games, but as far as I need to go see that horror movie.
Nah.
I mean, I go see it with people, but I'm not like trying to force myself to go see a horror movie.
Yeah,
like, it's not a must see to me.
I'm
not scared. It's not a must see for me.
It's not. It's not interesting.
I'm not gonna put myself out of the way to be like, oh, I gotta go see this fucking horror movie.
Yeah, no. Nah, an Avengers movie. I'll go see that shit by myself at 8 o'clock in the morning.
So the first game I'm gonna talk about on the list is called Scorn. I had previously mentioned this game I don't know what episode, but I'm pretty sure I talked about it in one of the episodes on the podcast. Scorn was first announced in 2014 for the Xbox and PC, and it just came out this year. It is a first-person horror. It is a first-person horror puzzle game. The atmosphere kind of looks like they try to create their own idea of hell.
Okay.
There's some monsters throughout the game. You're playing as this humanoid type thing. I don't really know if they ever show the face of it, but it's first person, and you see you can see the whole body, but you don't really see your face.
So like a silhouette?
Not really a silhouette. It's like
So like you see the body, just the face.
you can see the arms, legs, like because there's different things you interact with. Like he gotta stick his arm through something, or to basically do certain puzzles. There's some monsters throughout the game. People had described these monsters as Cronenberg. The only reason I know this word is because Rick and Morty had did an episode of this when Rick had basically fucked up the whole universe because, long story short, he tried to make a girl fall in love with Morty, and he said love is a little bit more magic than science, I believe, or some shit like that.
I did not see that episode.
It was the first season. He fucked up the whole universe.
First season. Okay, that's why I didn't get in the Rick and Morty until like the last season. Now I'm starting to go back and watch everything else.
So basically, these monsters just got arms and appendages everywhere. They look grotesque and weird. The art is also based on H.R. Geiger. He was a art director, I want to say, for the movie Alien. So as you can see in the trailers, if you watch it, you're mostly doing a lot of walking, and the environment just looks fleshy. That's the best way to describe it.
I'm looking at the right game, right?
Yeah.
Oh, alright, cool.
The game is, from what people have been saying, is kind of short. They wish it was a little bit longer. The puzzles aren't really too difficult, and there's really no guidance to what you're supposed to be doing. So you kind of gotta explore and solve puzzles on your own.
Games. Yo, I just
Didn't
seen
you
this
put his
commercial.
finger in there?
Yeah, because I seen a trailer about this the other day. The dude had some spike in his hand that he put inside of the thing, and then it's another one that's like a gauntlet that he put his hands in and did some other shit.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this game is definitely different.
What console is this for?
Xbox and PC.
Yeah, it's giving those vibes.
So there is guns in this game, but with this game, they more so focus on the puzzle solving. The guns is from what I've been told, is just one part of the game, and it's not really supposed to be for you to be guns ablaze. It's just for you to kill certain monsters and get to certain parts. So it's not like Resident Evil, but it's not like Outlast. So it's a little bit mix of both in terms of survival.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. The graphics is nice, but yeah, I'm not going out in the store and keep grabbing that shit.
I'm a little bit less skeptical when it comes to scary games. Like, just because it's a game, and since story mode campaigns don't really get paid that much attention to, like if a game that's scary comes out with a good story mode, I'll give it a try. And this one looks like it might be, like a pretty in-depth campaign.
I think for me, it's too
Gritty?
Well, that or maybe like futuristic, I guess. Like, okay, it doesn't seem too reality based to me. Meaning, like, okay, like I like games that is like, okay, I can feel like, hey, this is legit type shit, as opposed to this is the type of shit that I'll have a fucked up dream about and wake up like, yo, what kind of shit is this?
Like, what the fuck?
That's the best way.
I gotta throw that game away.
That's the best way I can explain that.
These monsters kind of remind me like they got the idea from Dead Space 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see when that nigga did that and that, The moment I saw that, I woke up like, what kind of shit is going on here?
Like, hey, yo.
So that's basically my rundown of the game Scorn. It came out October 14, 2022. If you have an Xbox and PC game and you want to play a new horror game for this year, check out Scorn. Give us your own opinion on it. If you have the game, give us some feedback on what you like or didn't like about the game.
Go cop that shit and let us know.
Next game on the list, I have The Quarry. It is the spiritual successor of Until Dawn, meaning Until Dawn was a game based on choice-based games, and it was a horror slasher type game that was based on like these campers go to a camp. One of the main characters, one of the campers' sister is murdered, and he blames other campers for it, and then you go do this whole choice-based game. While this is going on in the forest, there's a what is that called? Folklore about something called Wendigos that's out here killing people that visit the forest, and it's from people who basically start starving, and they turn into it and they start killing people. But that's Until Dawn. The Quarry is something different. The Quarry is another choice-based game that has a slasher in it with campers.
I fuck with the graphics. And real talk, 2K, that's funny, 2K made this. Because it just had a, what you call it?
It's made by 2K.
That's funny.
Wow. Yeah, but you're right though. It does have like an Until Dawn vibe. I'd say more like Days Gone. Just visually, I haven't played the game, but visually it reminds me of Days Gone too.
So the Quarry has about 186 endings that are decided by player choice, which offers a lot of replayability.
That's dope.
However, some endings, it's only like a few key choices that could be different, but there's basically 186 different choices.
Which is dope. The last game that gave you that many different endings was that I played was, what was that robot game? Detroit
Becomes Human? Shit, that was a great game.
That was a great game. They give you mad choices. You really got emotionally invested with these characters. Now, I'm not saying that The Quarry is going to be that good. I don't know yet. But anytime I think of choice-based, Detroit is definitely top 5 games that pop in my head.
Oh,
You beat it too, right?
Detroit
Detroit Becomes Human? You beat it too, right?
Yeah, I beat it. I beat it twice, I believe.
The first time you beat it, what was your ending?
The robots gained their rights, and they coexisted with the humans.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I didn't kill off. I didn't do no bullshit. You did some bullshit.
I don't know if I did some bullshit. We just took over Detroit. I tried to be peaceful, but somehow, my choices ended up. We just decided to take over Detroit, and Detroit became an Android state. Well,
Android City.
Android
that
City.
might be along the lines of this is some bullshit. I don't know.
And he murdered a couple people. We know it.
They deserve to die.
Facts.
And I hope they burn in hell. But yeah, so you can check out The Quarry. It came out June 10th for Sony, Xbox, and PC, and it's single and multiplayer. So you don't have to play it by yourself. Also, there's 9 characters. All of them could survive, and all of them could die.
Nah, that's a game with some stakes. Alright, I'm with that.
Next game on the list, we have Ghostwire Tokyo City. I had talked about this game previously before.
You said Ghostwire?
Ghostwire Tokyo City. Takes place in Tokyo, Japan. There's 2 protagonists. One name is Akito and his sister. The story's kind of like a mysterious fog sweeps through the town, and people start dying, transforming into these monsters. And the main protagonist has this entity in him that's trying to take over his body. But
Jujutsu Kaisen.
yeah, But he has the entity gives him powers so he can stop these monsters that's taking over the city. The combat is kind of like first person Skyrim if you use magic.
Okay. Wait, so it's a different perspective if you don't use magic?
I mean, you only can really use magic. He has like a bow for long range.
Okay.
And then he does like these Naruto hand signs and shoot blasts, elemental blasts like fire, earth, wind,
He throws
water.
up his set.
Yeah, basically. It had came out March 25th. It is available for PS5 and Windows. So if you are interested in, a different type of action game, you like that, a fan of Tokyo, or you a fan of kind of like Japanese folklore, this might be the game for you. And it has a horror style to it, but it's not really just a Outlast type survival. Like, there's gonna be some scary parts, but you can fight your way mostly through everything.
Alright, and I'm always down with the games that give you like superpowers and some mysterious entity. Like, I'm with those. Like, let me shoot some Kamehameha blast with my hands or something. I mean, lift something with my mind. This looks like a fun game.
What, it's made by Bethesda?
Ghostwire was I believe
Because I just
so.
saw.
Yeah, Bethesda.
Yeah.
Oh, so but you said it's on PlayStation?
PlayStation and
Oh, okay.
Windows.
Yeah, anytime I hear Bethesda, I assume Xbox and Windows.
Yeah, for now, but we have to see how that deal goes, because I know Bethesda's still gonna make some games for Sony.
Yeah.
It's still the beginning stages of that.
They
partnership.
cutting out some of their market. So yeah, I doubt that they're gonna cut it cold turkey type shit.
But low key, Sony's been doing their own job of trying to build up their own studios so they can get more AAA games exclusives.
Yep.
So even though Xbox is buying all these big name brand like Call of Duty, Bethesda and stuff, Sony's slowly building up their own to replace the games they won't be able to have.
When you make your own shit, you don't need the next guy.
And that's why it's always an argument between Xbox and Xbox and PlayStation, because PlayStation got hella exclusives, mad exclusive, bro.
And it's not like PlayStation is trying to be greedy, but they actually put that time in to acquire these exclusive rights.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, when everything is in house, you make more money.
Okay.
So my word of the day for video games is RNG, which stands for Random Number Generator. RNG is a video game word. It is basically a algorithm that randomly decides a number value and implements it into the game where called for, which can change the course of a game drastically. I know this is an element in Binding of Isaac or Enter the Gungeon. Basically, once you start the game, it's always going to be different. The level always going to change.
Yeah, I played a few games like that. Most annoying shit, like you can't, no matter how many times you die, shit's gonna be different. So you still gotta get it right.
So it's not like you get used to it and be like, okay, dodge here. Dodge.
Yeah, nah.
Oh,
Well, you could get used to like dodging the enemies, but you don't know what enemy is gonna pop up, and you don't know what gun you're gonna get or power up you're gonna get. So RNG, it kind of makes the game experience replayable, because a lot of games don't have that factor in it.
The fact that it does that, it kind of like, because I remember playing games that was like mad difficult. I think we were talking about, like, I was talking about a couple days ago, Ninja Gaiden. Like, there was no RNG, so every time you went, the game was mad difficult. So every time you came back to it, every time you got mad, turned off the game, came back, you could expect the same shit. Like, you know what I mean? So it wasn't really like, the RNG provides some type of refreshingness that will bring you back to it, whereas playing a hard ass game like not Ninja Gaiden, Shinobi, playing a hard ass game like that and you die like 7 times, man, fuck this shit. You throw the controller down and it's like, You want to go back and play, but you know you gotta fight the same motherfuckers all over again.
Shit, don't get us started with old school game versus new school games. This generation would hate to play our game.
Yo,
Talk about one to hit, you start from the beginning of the level, no save.
bruh, I recently played Mega Man. I think we were talking about Mega Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that's another difficult ass game, son.
I mean, at least Mega Man, they gave you a health bar. It was still difficult, but they gave you a health bar.
That's true.
Yo, crack that window, please, family. Y'all know that?
To recap the video games, you have horror games that you can play for October. You got Scorn, Ghostwire Tokyo City, The Quarry. Those are some of the games you can check out, look at the trails, and see if you want to play.
And some of them look pretty good. Some of them, I might actually give them a try, man.
So coming up in car news, there's this article from Car and Driver that says that Mercedes-Benz, they want to end accidents involving their cars by 2050.
How the fuck you gonna do that?
Well, autonomous driving, by self-driving and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what they think is the best reason. But well, y'all know I'm an old guy. At heart, I don't think a computer 100% is gonna be better than a human that's actually paying attention, knowing, hey, that is able to peep that, okay, hey, I might have an accident, I might hit somebody or whatever. I feel like by the time the computer realizes that, you know, something is going to happen, it may be too late. Or to the opposite effect, sometimes it's too sensitive. Like, okay, in my truck, sometimes I hate driving my truck sometimes. Especially like if I'm swerving and shit like that.
I know what you're talking about.
I know what the fuck I'm doing. But the car doesn't know, hey, he's doing this on purpose. He's cutting in and out of lanes or whatever, or, you know, or if you get too close to a car ahead of you, it will add the brake for you. And sometimes that's not what you need. Sometimes you're expecting a swerve or whatever. Mm-hmm. It will hit the brake like on a dot. Hit the brake right there. And then, hey, my dude, you better hope no one's right behind you. Because sometimes, hey, the car trying to escape in an accident can fucking cause one.
So, like, I get it, but you can't say, like, the computers will not have as good as a reaction time. Like, if we all of us here, we trust in calculators, right?
Okay, but here.
And a calculator can make a split decision. Like, I get what you're saying, though. And that's the only negative that comes from it, and that's because motherfuckers still out here driving regular cars that's not autonomous or not smart cars.
Don't sleep on technology.
If they all had that same feature, then there would never be a problem.
It's not the same, bro.
I'm not saying it's the same, but I'm saying you're talking about a device that can compute faster.
It can, the brain. When the conditions are ideal. You gotta remember that. Because when it's fucking snowing and raining and shit, you think those sensors is gonna catch every little thing?
Yes.
No.
Because the LiDAR sensor.
That's what I was gonna
If there's snow on the fucking sensor itself, how is it gonna know?
Because it's the laser can go through that.
Infrared?
Not as on point as when in a perfect scenario.
I think for that though, it would be they have to keep the feature to turn the signal, the sensors off. Because like the lane merge sensor to keep your car in the lane, you could turn that off because sometimes people don't like that feeling of when you drive and then your car just like, oh, you too far right or you too far left.
And 9 out of 10 is a camera by the mirror. 9 out of 10 is a camera that's looking at the line, at the road, trying to pick up the lines. Yep. Okay, perfect example. What if you're on a road that ain't got no fucking line?
Shit, excuse me. I get that part. If you're on the road without a line, that shit's confused as fuck. That nigga don't know what's going on.
Especially when I have a truck with some of those features. I mean, it's not fully autonomous, but I have a truck that has some of those features that do some of that stuff. I know exactly what I'm talking about. There's goods, but hey, there's bads also.
There's bads, but imagine it on 100%, like everybody has it scale. If everybody had that technology, then it wouldn't be bad.
Only way that for everything like that to happen 100% fine is cars, every car on the road, every car on the road would have to be able to talk to each other.
Exactly.
How long do you think that's going to take?
2050.
I was just about to say.
For every car, and there's still going to be, unless the U.S. government say by, let's say, 2050, no gas cars or no older cars will be on the road, not sold, on the road. That's not happening anytime soon.
Agreed.
So there will always be that little margin of fuck up.
That's very true.
So I had to say, from 2022 to 2050, the technology had to be drastic change, because there's no way in hell it's gonna still be I want to say the same components that's in the car now.
By 2050, I'd say a decent amount of the cars would be gone, but you're right, not all of them would be gone, so it'll still be that small percentage.
Not all of them. I promise you.
Yeah.
If there's gas stations still open, there's gonna be a Hellcat on the road. And by 2050, there's gonna be a guy that just bought a Hellcat, one of the last ones, and that bitch still gonna be on the road. If there's gas stations around.
Be snitching on me.
That's gonna be a classic. No, exactly. Real talk.
Think about, you hear that? I haven't heard that sound in so long.
Yo,
Is that?
A combustion engine.
No, they're gonna be hearing that shit down the street, like, what speaker is that?
Yeah, right. Oh my god.
Hearing the whine of that of the supercharger, they're like, what's going on here?
Yo, unrecognizable now.
Mercedes-Benz, they're calling their mission Vision Zero, and they plan on reducing death or serious injuries dramatically by car accidents by 2030, and obviously keep going till 2050.
One thing about it now, they do a good job with augmented reality, and it's still in the, I'll say, it's still in the early stages.
No, you're right.
So we had to see. I'll say
we still within the first 10 years?
Is that old?
I'd say so, because I'm counting for the shit that I probably don't know about, and
in a broad sense or whatever, in a more than one guy in his garage kind of thing, I guess you could say. Yeah, I'd say maybe around there. Around a decade.
Yeah, like
okay.
not fully 10 years, probably like 8 or 9.
Well, hey, give or take maybe 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never, because you'll never know what's really out there.
So by 2050, I'm expecting. I had to go back to that movie, Upgrade, how those cars were.
Yeah, yep, fully autonomous. You got in the car and it said where you're going, and the car takes you there.
Cause I know Tesla got some things, some autonomous driving where
you put in the GPS, they just
take you there, or you don't have to be in there. And for those who can't park, you can get out the car and put it in park, and the car will park itself for you.
You come out the parking. You could summon it. You could even come out the parking lot for you. Come out the parking spot.
Damn, Tesla started all this shit. Tesla really started all this shit, and these cars followed up ASAP.
that made it big.
Yeah.
You always gotta throw that out.
They didn't invent the shit.
Yeah, because hey, trust me, there's always that one guy in his garage cooking shit up.
They're like Apple, nigga. They just made it sexy.
You think anybody gonna do that with a Prius?
Hey, don't be surprised if it's not done. If it wasn't done already.
Prius slipping, man. They need to hurry up and come out with their next gen car.
They got their own what is that? Cliche? Not cliche, but niche.
They got their own customer.
I mean, before it was just them. I mean, there are a lot more lot more players at the party now. But yeah, they kind of. When you think of hybrid, shit, even today, when you think of hybrid, the first thing you think of is Prius.
That's the first thing that comes to mind, Prius.
Which technically, they weren't the first
hybrid.
Yeah.
Who was the first hybrid?
Honda.
The Insight.
We talked about this on the previous episode, I remember.
And then the Prius came out like 2 or 3 months afterwards, but it was a 4-door and it looked a lot better. Compared to the
anything
Insight.
looked better. Oh, what?
Compared to the Insight.
A Prius look better than the Insight?
Look at a Prius. Look at a 2000 or whatever. Yeah, I think they started 2000. 2000 Prius, and then look at a 2000 Insight or 01. I can't remember exactly. I think it's 2000. I think it started out as a 2000 model year. A 3-door with that shit, and look at the Prius. It's a 3-door.
That's real?
Yes.
Okay, this is way sexier than a Prius.
Stop it.
What?
Stop it. It was more practical.
They look the same.
You got a 4-door.
But that's a 4-door.
Yeah, you got a 4-door. And
you telling me this looks better than this? There's no way.
To the mass market.
Okay, if you're talking business and statistics and numbers.
Okay.
I
mean, that's what counts. Because when you see the Priuses sell, you see them on the road, right?
Facts.
And when you see them on the road, that's when you think, oh, yo, that's that new hybrid they was talking about. That's me, right?
But go ahead.
Yeah. So moving on. You know, I gotta hit y'all with some recalls real quick. Hyundai is recalling. Is recalling 53,000 vehicles with the dual clutch transmission. So 2021 and 2022 model year Hyundais, they could get a default that could get a total loss of power. So obviously that's not good. You know, it will just pretty much just shut off on you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
when it shuts off, does it like lock up?
Well, yeah, because it would lock up on you, and that's when you get in trouble. Oh, hold on, let me make sure. I mean, I would assume that it will lock up because you lose power. So when you lose power, you're not moving, you lock up.
And the engine won't be able to keep it on?
The engine, depending on how things are tuned, the engine would still be able to run, but you ain't going nowhere because how the power is from the engine to the transmission, then it goes to the wheels. So when you get that missing link of the transmission, the best you'll do is just be sitting there just running. The car will just be running.
The bullshit. I'm so used to cars not running, and they gotta get you running. Imagine having your car run, you can't move it.
It's stupid. It's like issues with a fail-safe malfunction in the transmission oil pump. So so chances are it'll lock up on you.
Oil pump?
Well, in the transmission, because you know the pump shoots oil, transmission fluid or whatever, in the transmission, so it gets it through the gears, all the little spots that needs the lubrication.
You can have no ashy ass gears.
You stupid. But I mean, technically, you can't, because then you
car going.
Then you get grinding.
You get that speed buggy.
Stupid. 2021 and 2022 Santa Fe, Sonata, and Veloster N. And 2022 Elantra N, Kona N, and Santa Cruz. Those are the models that are affected.
The Veloster kind of sexy for a small car.
It's a little 3-door now.
Yo, my mom used to have a Veloster, bro.
That's fine.
That shit was sexy.
Owner should be getting the mailing notification by December 5th. So if you got one of those, again, just go to your local Hyundai dealer and it could get taken care of. You can get taken care of, no charge to you. Just a matter of when they have the part available and the time to do it, pretty much.
Make sure y'all do that shit. Especially if you had these cars. Don't get into the accident and be like, well, I ain't know. Pretty sure they sent you a letter in the mail.
I'm pretty sure you listened to CTG when it came out, so.
Okay, so it won't lock up on you. It won't lock up. It won't lock up. So it said it says that quote, internal fault detection can put the vehicle into a limited mobility fail-safe mode. This can be followed by total loss of motor ability as the transmission clutches and drive gears disengage after 20 to 30 seconds. End quote. So it's like it'll trip off a trouble code, and then to help save itself, it'll go into a fail-safe mode. So it'll just like kill the power, and then you pretty much will just roll. You could just roll to the side of the road or whatever type shit.
All right, as long as they don't lock up, cause that's crazy.
Yeah, word. But that's why they do the sale. They have the fail-safe mode, so that doesn't happen. Because without that, then that would happen.
It's basically protecting the car from itself.
Yeah, word. Yeah, that's some bullshit. Hyundai also issued a stop sale order on the affected vehicles on October 7th. So that means if you got a car, like if you got that car on the lot, like still at the dealership, and then it's on the lot, and then let's just say October 6th, you was about to lock in a deal on a Veloster or whatever.
Alright, I'm the seller or I'm a buyer?
Yeah.
Need to be
It don't even matter at this point because
Alright.
it's a stop sale. Because they put a stop sale on it. So pretty much you can't sell. So on the 7th, once they put that out there, it hit the dealers, and then right when you're about to buy that shit, they be like, hey, we can't sell until they get it handled.
Damn. So what about my down payment? I already gave you guys money.
You gotta wait. I mean, it will be yours. It'll be yours.
Nah,
but
fuck
you
that.
It's to save their
wait.
ass. They gotta save their ass before they give you the car.
Yeah, exactly.
It's business for them. They don't really give a fuck if they fuck up on you. It's just if you could sue them, now they gotta pay out of pocket.
Exactly.
They're a big company, but
Like,
they not out here trying to just pay people.
I've been dreaming about this car for 2 weeks.
Yeah, so if new or for 2021 or 2022, chances are it'll probably be a used car, but like it'll be like most likely like a certified car. So once it hits the dealers, the Hyundai dealers, they can't sell it. But I mean, I guess if you were at like Joe's Auto, auto sales, you would have been good. You just had to get that the recall handled. And for my last topic, Jaguar
Jaguar.
Yeah, oh no, yeah, actually, that's actually how you're supposed to say it. Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Wow.
Are they actually in the UK, or that's the reason?
Yeah, I believe that something like that.
Okay.
They are from the UK.
You haven't seen the commercial, Cannon?
I haven't seen no Jaguar commercial. No.
Jaguar.
I remember that.
It's Jaguar.
Yeah, I
but,
know it's Jaguar, but
like if you
a
see
lot
the
of
official commercial, they say Jaguar.
Yeah.
You give it to the pronunciation.
I can't remember who owns them now. They Jaguar was owned by Ford before. I can't remember who owns them now though. But back to what you call the F type. So it's like their coupe, and it was nice.
Sexy.
Coupe or a drop top.
That shit is sexy.
And I remember because we had that shit at work. We had like a couple, and I used to have fun with that shit. It was drop top, nice sound system, nice exhaust system.
My nigga B was calling Lester, yo.
I remember that. It was a good whip. That was a good whip.
Throw that shit to Wawa to get a Slurpee.
You stupid. But the F type is being discontinued after the 2024 model.
What
year.
the fuck?
Yeah. They said that Europe is getting a 75th anniversary edition, but the US, there isn't any info about that one yet for the US. So maybe not. They didn't mention it. And I didn't even realize it was kind of a new car when I think about it. When you think about it, because they first dropped it in 2014. Yeah, real talk. Which for some reason,
I thought it was more old school than that.
Yeah, for some reason, and I was actually surprised about that. For some reason, it just felt like it went further back. For some reason, I don't know why. But yeah, I mean, so it's just going to be for a 10-year run. But I mean, I would imagine they didn't really sell that many. Because I mean, this is more of, this is definitely a toy car.
This is probably my first time really looking at this car. I feel like I've seen it maybe once or twice, but
the drop, I love the drop.
You gotta look at the picture of it. That shit is sexy.
Man, I remember we had two black drop tops. I remember that shit. That shit was good, nice. And I think it had the V8. I think you could.
Oh, I've seen this around. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember the grill with the emblem. Yeah,
I like the
and I always wondered, like, what kind of car is this?
And they got the sporty one. That's the one I'm used to.
The F-type pace, not pace, F-type R or something like that, where it was like the top of the line one.
I was like, good God Almighty.
It looked good. I'll give it that. That shit does not look like a Jaguar either.
The F-type R. Yeah, I remember that shit.
SVR?
No, the F-type R. The SVR, that is a Jaguar, like a Brad badge or whatever. But what I was talking about was the Type R. The F-type R. Okay. Yeah, but yeah. So if you got one, hold on to it. If you want one, grab it while you can, because after the 2024 model year, it's clipped.
Every time I hear discontinue, I hear that one nerd like, yeah, they don't even make these anymore. When he's showing them your car in the garage.
Yo.
Like, yeah, I got one of the last ones left,
So Jaguar. Give C.T.G. a little test from your 75th anniversary. Let us see how that shit runs for the love.
We're gonna give y'all a bomb ass review.
Honest.
Send a manual one. That would be hot. Oh, this alright. Nah, forget it. Don't send a manual.
Yeah, send a manual.
Nah,
Shit, I drive that shit.
He'll learn.
Perfect way to learn how to drive a manual.
500 something horses. Yeah.
Yo.
Think about it. I'm in first.
Nigga They gonna get the car back and send us a letter like, you know what really grinds our gears?
My transmission. Like the transmission after giving it to you guys.
Yeah, that's what we call a test drive. You don't pass all tests.
So to wrap up, Mercedes-Benz is trying to get to 0 accidents involving their cars by 2050. Hyundai's recalling a little over 53,000 cars for their dual clutch transmissions, and Jaguar is discontinuing the F-Type for the 2024 model year, after the 2024 model year. And for the car award of the episode is dual clutch transmission.
Please educate me, because I was gonna ask that, but I was like, I don't really finish the article.
I think I know.
Sometimes this is based off of a Wikipedia submission I got, which I mean seems pretty legit of how to say it, how to explain it. Sometimes referred to as a twin clutch transmission, is a type of multi-speed vehicle transmission system that uses 2 separate clutches for odd and even gear sets. The design is often similar to 2 separate manual transmissions with their respective clutches contained within one housing and working as one unit. In the car and truck application, the DCT functions as an automatic transmission, requiring no driver input to change gears.
Layman's terms.
So you say it's 2 clutches and 1 clutch?
Yeah.
Housing?
So pretty much it's like, okay, it's an automatic, and it's like, okay, you're driving, you're in first gear, and right when the car knows when it's about to hit second gear, you hit the other clutch is engaged to go into second gear. So it's like a seamless switching of gears, and you don't even have to do anything. It does it itself.
So kind of like how you pedal a bike, where instead of the 2 wheels, it's just 1 pedal and I don't know. I mean,
fuck my brain up. Because I don't. The reason why I didn't understand that is because I don't understand the original concept. So we're doing, the goal of the what comes out of that is
to shift quicker,
faster shifting.
To shift, yeah.
How much time are you saving though? Like,
well, technically,
milliseconds.
Yes, technically, a good DCT, a good dual clutch transmission, is going to be faster shifting gears than one of us switching gears ourselves.
Yeah, I get that, you know, and also a computer is always faster. But,
so that's why it's getting picked up so much. So at least with the different clutches, with the 2 clutches, you could get 1 gear ready before you actually need it, kind of thing.
Okay. So you're in first gear, second gear is already queued up.
Pretty much.
But something still has to switch.
That's the other gear.
Right.
So okay. You're in first gear. Second clutch is ready for the second gear. You get into gear. Okay, you're in second, and then now the first clutch, you're about to go on the third. The first clutch is getting ready to bring third gear, and that's when you get into gear. And it's
okay, as opposed to what? As opposed to the normal way. 1
clutch in, clutch out. Okay, it eliminates the clutch in, clutch out.
So it eliminates neutral, basically. That second okay, it's not in neutral, but that's an interesting concept.
It's more so like a cycle.
Yeah, I get it. It makes it smoother.
Yeah.
It makes it smoother. I get that.
So like, okay, so 1 clutch would be for 1, 3, 5, right. And then another clutch would be 2, 4, 6.
So that is kind of like a bicycle. Cause you push one side, and then you gotta push the other side.
I get what you're trying to say.
No, yeah, I get what you're trying to say, but I don't know if it's that simple.
Well, not that simple because I know it's you basically gotta switch the gears and put the next gear in sync so it can start turning to get the car to go to that certain speed.
And the car already know what to do depending, and it could tell if you're going downhill, you're going uphill, if you're in a corner or whatever, so it knows, all right, okay, ready, all right, switch a gear. All right, ready, switch the next gear.
Is it a smart car, like electric or no?
No, it's in regular gear, regular cars.
The car computer is smart. They have a lot of technology in it. It's sensors.
Yeah, it's a regular car.
I just don't see how mandatory it is. That's
I
what
think
yeah.
Volkswagens be having them in there.
Like on a day-to-day driving, like as a daily, like
It's
I don't-
and also it's good for like faster cars, bro. It's better for like like more like sports cars and stuff like that, because you could go through the gears quicker.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
But I mean, there are in some regular cars also, but the best use is in the sports cars.
I do it. Dual clutch shit. That shit just fuck me up.
Do they use that in real racing or no?
Yeah.
I'd assume
some depending on what you're talking about.
Like sports, like you know how they have like sports racing,
Like what is it, F1?
or no?
Wait, like F1?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, yeah, and they got the yeah.
That's
I believe it's a dual clutch. I don't know exactly, but I would believe it's a dual clutch.
Whoever has it.
Because that's where the
Can-
milliseconds would matter.
That's
yeah,
what I'm saying. Yeah.
The milliseconds would matter then, not on the way to stop and
And
drop.
that's when you know you can really drive. If you doing that shit at 100+ miles, hitting corners,
Going back and forth.
you gotta get you around them.
That's crazy.
I'm saying,
And to crash and say, yeah, you keep doing this shit, that's another round of applause.
They create the thrill seekers. But speaking of thrills, Apple announced some new devices.
Oh yeah.
They dropped some new shit, which is really some old shit. They came out with a brand new iPad, which the iPad tiers is like, not the tiers. The naming is weird. Like, there's the iPad Air, then there's a normal iPad, then there's the iPad Pro. But the regular iPad, you have to name it something since it's just iPad, so you have to say like 10th gen after it. So it's kind of weird. Like, why? I get not using the numbers thing, but we need a better naming system. I feel like iPad, just iPad. You came out with a new one. It's called iPad again.
True.
Needs some type of something that differentiates it. Because when you say iPad, nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
I guess they could just say iPad what year.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
That could be the best thing. Because
don't they do that with the computers? Don't they do that?
MacBooks.
Yeah.
They do it with the Mac. Yeah, that's why I said, like, not just the iPads, the entire naming scheme, like, needs to be a little bit different. Like, you see how the iPhone, like, it's not just iPhone every year. It's iPhone something.
So, yeah, do it with the year. Might as well.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Just a minor complaint from my part. They just, all the devices that they drop have the M2, the iPad, and the iPad Pro. iPad 10th gen, so you know which one I'm talking about. They came out with some new colors for the regular iPad, and the colors look pretty dope. I'd say they're the closest thing we got to like actual colors. I'd have to see it in person.
It kind of remind me of the desktops they was dropping.
Yeah.
Macintosh.
Yeah.
They have a specific name for it, but yeah. Yo, I have not seen those anywhere though.
You go to Shore Hill. Last time I went to Shore Hills, the Apple store, they had them shits right there. I think I said the video in the group chat out on the.
I meant like in person. Like, like somebody actually owns it in their house. I have not seen.
They seen that prices
like
like
colorful Mac.
The
Click.
OG shit?
Nah,
It's some new shit that they came out
Oh. Okay.
it's basically a screen, but Apple super screen.
Like a smart display.
with. It's like everything is in the screen, and I can't.
Mm-hmm.
iMac.
The iMac.
So and you said everything is in it now?
Yeah,
So
like this is it. When you
that's
buy
the computer
it, this
itself.
is the exact thing. And the mouse and the keyboard.
And it also got the displays too, not just the computer, but the
Yeah,
resolution
yeah.
screens. I forgot what they call them.
That expensive ass screen.
If it's a market, they're gonna make it.
They're gonna make that money, man. But yeah, so they dropped the iPad with the M2, and everybody compares it to like having a Ferrari engine and a Honda. Like the M2 is like way too powerful for the iPad because the iPad the software doesn't take advantage of how much power the M2 really brings you. And with the drop, I remember seeing that DaVinci came out on the iPad finally. Like all major editing softwares don't have an application specifically for an iPad. So I guess to try and take up some of that brand new horsepower that they just got in the iPad, they worked something out with DaVinci, and DaVinci finally came out with their editing system on the iPad. I haven't used it, can't attest to if it's good or not, but I'd assume with the M2 chip, you have more than enough room to move how you want to move, edit what you need to edit, multiple streams at one time. M2 is really like that. Like I need you guys to understand, the M2 is a power. They're putting it in the laptops, bro. But yeah. Anyways, I digress. The M1 chip really is crazy, and Apple needs to start working with a lot of these software companies to make the iPad more useful, so they can take advantage of that for real. So a new 10th gen iPad, M2 chip. The camera is now landscape. It's not on the portrait mode anymore, so now you're gonna be using it more sideways, as you see in like the advertising. They have it on the side. Apple announces the new TV 4K, the new Apple TV 4K with the A15 Bionic chip, HDR10, and it's only $129. Not really any major aesthetic differences on the Apple TV. Like the old Apple TVs, you could actually see the letters TV at the top. They took that off and just put the Apple.
So,
That shit more expensive than the Fire Stick Max.
Well, that's what I was about to get to. So, you with Apple TV, do you still have to pay monthly, like for their Apple service, or you still have to pay?
Their TV, their subscription.
Oh, you talking about if you buy this, you can still use it and not pay any subscriptions. Like you just connect to whatever subscriptions you already have,
okay.
like Netflix.
So I get a fucking Fire Stick or a
But
Roku
hold
shit.
on, let's talk about the ecosystem. Let's talk about the ecosystem. Because you got an iPhone, let's say you're watching some shit on your iPhone, you just hit a button and shoot it straight to the Apple TV. Straight to the TV. When you want to play music, you playing music on your phone, you just walk in the crib, connect it to the TV.
It has the same shit.
You could mirror your phone. You could use your phone as a remote for the Apple TV. Like, they do it. You could use it as a secondary monitor if you have a laptop.
How much?
$129.
The thing is, when it's Apple to Apple, like device, there's no lag. But when it's Apple to Android, there's latency. There's like buffering. It don't work as fluent as it do.
Oh, that's on purpose.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. But yeah, so this one's 4K. I guess I still feel like TV. Well, I guess they're pretty much up there to 4K. Like a lot of people have that in their homes already. Smart TVs that can actually use 4K.
And that's the most reasonable, budget friendly right now.
Right.
Because people ain't buying that 8K. That's more still luxury right now.
Also, the USB-C and the remote. It wasn't USB-C before. Now, USB-C lovers, there you go. and they also talked about like Stage Manager. A bunch of these features that they talked about are coming out October 24th. So, and Stage Manager looked pretty cool, but I can't really say it until I actually use it. Like, because it sounds like if you don't have a big screen, why would you really want to use Stage Manager? Because you're like taking up real estate. It's like for the Windows users, you know, when you drag the window up to the corner, like all the way to the edge, and then a square lights up where you can drop the monitor and it'll take up like a square portion of the window. Mm-hmm. It's like Apple's version of that, except the windows are like overlapping. Like, what if I'm looking at some important information and this is in the way? Like, once you go into Stage Manager mode,
you can't move
all the applications kind of like
squished
in. So it's like a little border around. I don't know. I ain't really fuck with it. And then people talking about like they want it on their iPad to be able to do that. Like, the screen is too small for that. I could see it being useful on a desktop. You're looking at a pretty huge screen, but anything smaller than that, I don't think would be useful. iOS 16.1 is about to drop, and that shit is gonna be a nice little update. You guys didn't update to iOS 16. Oh yeah, last episode I tried to unsend the message and they still could see it.
He's like, I unsended it. Nigga, what you talking about?
Screenshot.
Yeah.
Caught him in 4K.
Like, let me see your phone. So how come all these phones say this?
Alright, but those were the 3 actual devices that were dropping. Everything else is like software updates that are coming out. So Apple TV, the M2 iPad Pro, and the regular iPad 10th gen.
So you get the keypad from Apple?
Yeah.
Yeah, they make their own keyboard.
Yeah, right. And the one for the Pro is like $250. Just for the bro. Oh, I almost forgot to mention. So the new iPad is gonna come with Apple Pencil first generation compatibility. So
what you said is gonna come with it.
I
thought you were like, okay, that's not bad.
Hold up, we talking about Apple here, bro. If I see a bag, I'm gonna grab it.
Like, you don't need that. If you want it, you can buy it though. That's what they saying.
Respectfully. But the thing is, so the Apple Pencil first generation came with a charger port, right? But it was Lightning, not USB-C. So now, in order to charge it, when the first iPad came out, it was Lightning, so you could connect the pencil directly to the charger. It was kind of a weird way to charge a device, because now it's like,
oh, okay.
I got this thing sticking out of my iPad. Okay. Like, yeah, like I'm walking around with a weapon. Honestly, like I can stab somebody with this. But now, since it's USB-C, you have to buy a dongle to be able to charge the first generation. First of all, we're on the second pencil, or I believe so. We're on the second one. Why is something new that you dropping only compatible with an old generation device?
It's not compatible with the second one?
It's not. How does that make sense?
Maybe not yet. They probably they probably have the hardware capability. They probably just trying to knock out the software for now.
I want to make another pencil.
That's weird. That's weird. That's just weird to me.
They're about to make another pen.
But that would be, if they do that, that would be ridiculous. One that only works with that one?
Or that one, the newer. Like,
I feel like they do.
Because I guess to support the people who actually bought the first one. I don't know what the difference between the first and second one is, but I'm guessing since the second one came out, they could just drop one that goes with these newer devices that's coming out.
So right now, if I want to charge my pencil, I just have to magnetically attach it to the top on this one.
Yeah.
So I feel like the pencil never came with the iPad. So I think if they came out with a new pencil, it would be dedicated to this one. And just like they did with the first generation, they can decide to make it compatible with the iPad, but I don't think they would advertise using a pencil on the regular iPad.
Okay.
But yeah, I just think it's weird. You now have to buy a dongle and connect it to the back of the pencil.
Is it a MagSafe?
Not MagSafe. It's Lightning to USB-C. Like, what?
Can't leave money on the table.
Why even do that? Why? You just came out with this, bro. You could have put a magnetic strip on that bitch. Moving on to my last article. The Apple VR headset.
Nice.
Is finally on the way.
It look like the ski shits.
Yeah.
Ski mask?
Yeah, you know, the ski goggles.
Oh yeah, ski goggles. For skiing.
That shit tough, bro.
I cannot wait to see what they do, because you know they're gonna do some I'm excited for the AR, because I feel like that's what people will mostly use. Like VR, you use it like when you're in your using VR in public is crazy. Blocking off all your senses in a public location is crazy. I would never, but I'm telling you, that's where the future is going, bro. But somebody gonna steal you just.
You gotta think it's the game.
You go like, oh, these drivers crazy.
Look at y'all. It's like, damn.
Wake up, no VR, no phone, no wallet, no.
Like, yo, the ending to that game was crazy.
Yo.
But
I lost.
I'm on I got this article from Mac Rumors, by the way. So this is an article basically saying what new features that the VR headset is gonna have. The 4K micro OLED displays.
That sounds lit.
That sounds expensive.
Wow, 4K?
That sounds
For the VR?
expensive.
That's crazy, bro. For VR 4K.
Word,
That's
like
extreme.
Is that per eye?
that's per eye.
Oh,
2,000. I think it's like 2,000 by something.
okay, yeah. Cause
That automatically beat the Quest in my opinion, bro.
Yeah.
Quest Pro.
Oh yeah. No, they about to shit on niggas. Apple really about to come crazy, but the MetaQuest Pro, they put up a good fight. They dropped some hot shit. It was like, yo, this is the best we got. Please, just don't blow us out the water. Like, please leave us with some customers. They are spending bread. This thing is not going to be cheap at all. You know that from the first one. More
When
than
has
a
anything
dozen
been
cameras. Yeah, right? They're never cheap. Yeah, it's going to have more than a dozen cameras on it. Apple is outfitting its AR/VR headset with more than a dozen cameras, which will capture motion to translate real-world movement to virtual movement. It's said to have 2 downward-facing cameras to capture the leg movement specifically. Yo, when I heard the metaverse got legs, I'm like, yo. Everybody in that bitch like, hey, they hitting the ducky, they dancing just. Yeah, which will be a unique feature that would allow for more accurate motion tracking. That's cool, I guess. Leg tracking. You have legs in real life. Why not have legs in the virtual world?
I mean, I can see that for an exercise feature, since Apple do have the Apple Fitness, so you could have the VR headset on, working out, or augmented reality working out.
Start sexy working.
And it'll tell you how much calories or whatever going on throughout your body,
Right.
especially if you have the watch on.
Jeez,
So I could see
that ecosystem go crazy.
Yo.
That ecosystem go crazy.
So
They
cut
about
out the fucking laptop and you got yourself another device.
Look, listen, this is the future right now. We're gonna have a whole suit we're gonna have a whole suit, but they like, we can't sell them the entire suit. We gotta sell it to them in pieces, piece by piece. Got the watch, all right. We got the iPhone. We got the
shoes dropping soon. Shoes dropping in 2030. I promise.
Yo, they're gonna have it's gonna be like Gundam. I don't know if you guys watch old Gundam, but when they got in the Gundam, they had like a black. They had to go through like a circle of, I don't know what material it was. It was black, but they went through that shit, and that shit like skin tight, a whole black suit, and then they had everything on top of them, the armor, and they was running in the Gundam. What? I can't think of what Gundam that was, bro. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna put a picture up right here, or the clip of them getting into the Gundam. Shit was lit. But Apple is gonna be all over our body, yo. Apple Ring, they gonna have every type of technology.
Yeah, looking for your pulse or some shit.
Yo, the vibration, you can feel the vibration from when somebody touches you in the game.
Eye vest.
Jarvis, is that you?
Fucking yo.
Shit, they gonna have a fucking eye hat where they
helmet.
don't play the music. It's just right into your brain.
There'll be a helmet with the headphones. Because eventually, if it's gonna be a full suit.
Man, I'm down to be Iron Man, Apple. So just keep dropping it. Hurry up. Matter of fact, you could just sell it to me straight. Just sell me the entire suit. I'll buy it on, put it on, and wear it every day.
Like,
You said this shit gonna be expensive. How much you think everything gonna cost? Doing some numbers.
That's $4.5 billion, sir.
I'm like, all right, put it on CTG time. We got you, all right? Y'all gonna have to give us some ads so we can get our views up.
Yeah, I'll sell the shit out of that suit.
What? Okay, this is cool too. It's gonna have iris scanning, so you can set your eye as a password. 2022, baby. What can I say?
That would make sense because they do have the technology for iris scanning.
It can analyze your eye patterns. No end of passwords.
That's wild.
Instead of Face ID, is Eye ID.
Not even the ID.
Facial expression tracking, which is, I guess, is cool. Like, they really are trying to make this like real life. People are gonna spend months in this at a time. You guys seen Sword Art Online?
I've seen episodes and know about it.
Yeah, for those of y'all who don't know, they got stuck in a virtual game. Alright.
They were supposed to die and go back, like wake up from the game, and then they found out that if you die in real life.
Yeah, if you die in real life, and then now they had extra motivation
What's
to
going on?
Exactly. Going crazy, bro. Like, yo, we just trying to get out of here, my boy. Chill out. Interchangeable headbands. So from the render, it looks kind of heavy. It looks like the front of it will be mad heavy. So I wonder how they're gonna do with that. Like, I assume wearing that shit for a long period of time is gonna be annoying.
The headbands kind of remind me of the Apple bands, the watch bands.
Yeah, the watch bands. Facts. Apple Silicon chip. Rumors suggest that Apple is going to use 2 Mac level M2 processors for the AR/VR headset. Now we're making use. Now we're making use of that M2 chip, which will give it a more built-in compute power than competing products. MetaQuest Pro. Apple will use a high-end made processor and a lower-end processor that will manage various sensors on the device. So I assume, like, for VR and AR, you need a lot of computing power, bro.
Yeah.
That's not something that's easily rendered.
I would imagine so. For it to get how you really want it to be like real type shit.
Now, would this be an accessory to the iPhone or a standalone product?
Nah, yeah, you can use it independently.
That's why we needed the 2 M2 chips so it can run its own.
Yeah, because I thought that if they came out with a headset, it would have had to connect to the phone and process off the phone, and they just have to wait for Wi-Fi 6 or some type of better connection between the phone and the glasses and
I
work
mean,
like
the
that.
Bluetooth, they got that. Apple already got the special connection where if you have a Bluetooth device, it connects. It
Yeah,
pick it up
but
and then connect.
we're
So-
tracking legs, man.
So it
You
could,
need more than Bluetooth.
so it can hook up to the phone, but it can also be independent.
Right.
Okay. Okay, not bad.
I gotta see how this compares to the PlayStation VR headset in terms of VR.
I feel like we've been talking about this VR headset from Apple for mad long.
We have, because I was like, that was the next product. They was taking a sweet ass time. We knew about it since Google had made the Google glasses.
Yep.
And we was talking about the Apple. We thought the Apple was gonna make the glasses instead of a full headset.
RIP Google glasses. Thought that shit was gonna be fire, and that shit
It was
did
a
not.
headache.
It didn't go to the public like that. I guess I seen like developers using it, but
Hey, they tried.
they tried.
VR, that's the future.
We are headed for some crazy ass times. Like niggas gonna be in the clubs wearing that shit, and the shit's gonna be in VR mode, bro. That shit is gonna be crazy, and that shit's gonna have hella designs. Or it's gonna be
You remember IMVU?
Yep. Gonna.
So bad.
We were just training. All this was training for.
Now niggas got the
bad.
fucking goggles on. Bitch bad in real life, and she got a bad meta person.
Another example. What's that game? Watch Dogs. Like I feel like that view, like you see how much bread niggas got, or you see all this information
Yeah.
pop up when you see them. You can hack niggas and steal their bread. Yo,
I feel like bitches in VR gonna be bougie in VR, bro.
what?
They gotta see
Niggas are gonna be
guys.
bougie too. Niggas gonna be. You seen Ready Player One, bro? Niggas. There's gonna be characters that are like gigantic fucking.
Shit, I'm gonna have a fucking 8-pack.
I'm talking about they won't even give you the time of day, bro. They gotta look at you up if you're ranking.
Damn.
New bitch.
Niggas
Like
talking
level
about,
3.
You gotta put that work in.
Level 3.
Need some upgrading to do.
Don't even talk to
Yo.
me.
Pay to play.
Hey yo. Like, damn. Alright.
Like, is that default skin you still got on?
You still wearing that?
They had that shit from 2023.
But yeah, so I guess tech word of the day that I'm gonna use, which is kinda tech but not really tech, which is meta. Referring to oneself or conventions of its genre, self-referral. So I
That
always
makes sense.
heard meta being said before, like I guess Facebook made it popular.
In a way, but you have metaphysics, and that's the study of what meta is. Basically, what you had described meta as in trying to be aware of being aware. I don't know the term. There's a special word for that, but
My fucking brain.
I know metaphysics is like something more so like the unseen.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's basically being aware, like the science of your consciousness or awareness of what's going on. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of CTG Podcast. We hope you learned something today from each one of our sections. You could also, leave a donation in a Patreon or send something on Cash App to help the budgeting. I'd like to say, make sure you, leave some comments, leave some likes. And the comments, you could be descriptive. Tell us what you like about the show, what you feel like is slacking with the show.
Yeah,
And
give us pointers.
we'll give you some. We'll always interact, or we'll try to at least, to interact with the people who engage with us, because it's not just us building CTG; it's also the audience.
And if you want to talk shit, we can shoot the fade.
Because you can talk about what you don't like. Alright?
Put them
If we
bees
sound-
on.
Get the fuck out of here.
I am one of your hosts, Cannon.
I'm Prince.
And I'm B.
And yeah, peace out.
Thanks for tuning in to another one.
They call you Prince?
We out.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I got mad names.
They call me Sorcerer Supreme.